Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel for another interesting review. Thanks for watching. This time with another Oberfränkisches Vollbier. This one is from Brauerei Otto Schrüfer in Priesendorf in western Oberfranken, and it's one that I've been looking forward to a lot because I've heard very good things about it. So real high expectations of it, of course. Brewery founded 1898, and of course it's a family brewery. I even think that it might be a one-man business, but it comes in this 0.5 liter Maurer flasche, and it's got the typical Franconian old label with no big lower front label, but only a label like this one that covers the Bügelverschluss, which is of course has, and it's no a logo on the top cap, but only a logo right here, as you can see, which gives an also old impression. And it's filled by hand, manually, not in a machine. These bottles are filled up by hand by the brewer Otto Schrüfer, as far as I understand. That's what I've heard from Mikael, who did send me this bottle, so big thanks to him. He did also send me the other beer that this brewer is having, which is this one right here, the Dunkles Vollbier. So of course I'm gonna review it in the future. So this brewer is having these two beers that he's brewing, and I'm starting with this one because it's the most sold one from this brewery, the Vollbier, which I bet is a pale Vollbier, of course, since the other one is Douglas Vollbier. First of all, I'm going to give you some information that I usually do. Real bar and hospitality, what was good in the land registry 1847 is still relevant today, because at Schrüfer's, who are now in the 4th generation behind the counter, things are absolutely fair. Everyone gets a Vollbier, a typical Franconian, very tasty beer that convinces every guest again and again, brewed by Wolfgang Schrüfer, the son of the current master brewer and owner. Big cake fight every day. Of course, the good Schrüfer beer all goes well with the house's classic snacks, but we find the combination of cake and beer, which you can try here every day, even more exciting, because here the lady of the house conjures up a real splendor of cakes and tarts, for which many guests come in the afternoon and enjoy the small piece of sweet before the actual snack 2 hours later. On Sundays and public holidays it's also the other way around. First delicious lunch and then the cake. The pizza, which is freshly baked every Friday from 5 p.m. should also be mentioned. And I found some other information at a good website, which is called Beer Wanderers, so I'm gonna read through that information also about Brauerei Schrüfer Priesendorf. Priesendorf is a small village in the Steigerwald, a pretty hilly area with numerous hiking trails, including the Panoramaweg, a trail high on my list of things to do in Franconia. Brauerei Schrüfer Hauptstraße 31, Priesendorf, telephone number 09549317. Output 700 hectoliters per year. Founded 1865, this small village brew pub remains in the Schrüfer family, who brew some of the driest beers in Franconia. It lies directly on the Panoramaweg that takes in some fine scenery, as well as a few brewers along the way. It's likely busy in summer, but I've also been there in winter once to find it closed, and the second time thankfully open, with a few locals enjoying their Vollbier, actually the lighter of their beers, typical for the Steigerwald region. I mistakenly thought the darker beer was the Vollbier, but decided to have both, since it took me 2 trips to get inside the door. Both were similar and excellent. I didn't get a chance to eat as I had to catch a bus back to Bamberg in an hour, but I'll be back. To find the dry hoppy beers at Brauerei Schrüfer. It took me a couple years to get back, but finally I did while staying in nearby Weiher at the Kundmüller brewery. I was researching hikes and breweries for my book Beer Hiking Bavaria. The Weiher hike made it into the book, but I had awful weather for the hike to Priesendorf, so unfortunately no decent photos. At any rate, it did get me back to the brewery, and the Dunkles Vollbier, as expected this time, wasn't on tap. I had a couple of signature Vollbiers, and they really hit the spot, even after a fairly wet walk there. On leaving, I noticed a great little beer garden off on the side of the brewery, so now I have another reason to return. A beer worth the walk, Schrüfer Vollbier. And about this specific one, the Vollbier, it's possible to read the following on this website, which I doubt that I'm gonna link to in the description box below, since it's not the official website of the brewery, because this brewery is so small that it, of course, doesn't have a website. Schrüfer Vollbier, town Priesendorf, style Vollbier, color golden, head ample, white, nose malty, some grain, body medium, palate malty, some cereal, underlying hope, dry, fruity, finish dryish, slightly bitter, served on tap at the brewery. Impression, the funny thing for me is that this signature beer, I had always imagined the Vollbier to be dark, and on my first visit to the pub, they had a dark version as well. It turned out that was a cooler month specialty beer. On this return summer stop, the regular Vollbier was the only one on offer. It's a gorgeous golden brew with nice malty palate that has some cereal as well as some fruitiness. There's enough hops to dry things out in the slightly bitter finish. Sounds very promising, and I understand this person while he thought that the Dunkles Vollbier was the most sold one, since that's often the case in Oberfranken, that the Dunkles is the most sold one, but in this case it's different. As always, I'm gonna go through the information in the books that I'm having, as always, like this one. And you see the brewery right here, Schrüfer, Priesendorf. Always interesting to show up how it looks. Founded 1898, Brauer Wolfgang Schrüfer aus Stoss, annual output 400 to 500 hectoliters per year. Vollbier and Dunkles is the two beers that this brewery is having. Reale Schank- und Gastgerechtigkeit. Was anno 1847 in Katasterrand gut war, ist heute nach wie voll aktuell. Denn bei Schrüffers, die mittlerweile schon in der 4. Generation hinter dem Treschen stehen, geht es absolut gerecht zu. Jeder bekommt ein Vollbier, und das ist auch gut so. Alfred Schrüfer, der Vater des heutigen Inhabers und Braumeisters, hat beim Bamberger Spezial gelernt, aber sich nicht dazu verleiten lassen, auch in Priesendorf ein Rauchbier zu brauen. Das Ergebnis, typisch fränkisches, sehr geschmackintensives Bier, überzeugt jeden Gast immer wieder aufs Neue. Lamm- und Bierschnaps. Zu dem kräftigen Vollbier der Schrüffers passt am besten der deftiges Essen. Deswegen setzt man hier auf Braten, Schwein aus eigener Schlacht und Lamm aus eigener Aufzucht, Wildschwein aus der Region Rind oder Kalb und Hausmacherbrotzeiten. Letzter vor allem zur Biergartensaison, wenn Siebelskes, Rot- und Weißer Pressack, Göttinger, roher Schinken und Dosenfleisch auf dem Programm stehen. Am besten hat es uns am Samstag gefallen, wenn Otto Schrüfer seinen großen Oklahoma-Grill entwirft und die Gäste mit Fisch, Steaks und Bratwürsten verwöhnt. And my other book, of course, which is one that I'm gonna show you also, of course, and it's this one right here. And here you also have Schrüfer, Priesendorf, as you can see, very small looking one. Otto Schrüfer, since 1848, in family ownership since 1870. Helles Vollbier, annual output 500 hectoliters. Kirchweih in letzter Sonntag im August, Brauerei Gasthaus Schrüfer. So that's the information that I'm having so far over the tasting part of this one. Well, let's look at the label that says Vollbier 0.5 liter. Zutaten Wasser, Gerstenmalz, Hopfen, Kühl- und Dunkellagern bei 6 to 10 degrees Celsius. Alcohol content 5.0%. And yeah, that's it. Well, let's look at the label. This great looking label of Brauerei Schrüfer, Priesendorf, Vollbier. So let's open this one up and give it a try, should we? Flop it up. Nice plop there, of course, which is very important. And lower it up. High expectations of this one, as I said. So I think it's gonna be really nice, and it gives, of course, a nice impression this far with the foam that is really nice, as you can see. Very thick white foam crown, and extremely many small bubbles rising up, as I hope you can see right here. So it's I think it's filtered, and it has a 3-finger white thick foam crown, I would say, and it looks really pale, almost like the Gold Oxen that I had, not as, or probably I would say the Herbolen that also was very pale, but that's, I mean, look at this big foam crowns, so fantastic it looks. Let's get the aroma first of all. Yeah, just as the description, really fresh, and you feel the hops taste of it, even though it's a Vollbier and not the pills. You feel the hops aroma of it. That's really high quality, and really high expectations, as I said. Yeah, there's of course some more, but this is how it should look with a white, thick, white foam crown. It's fantastic, and very many small bubbles and the thick white foam crown. So I bet this one is going to be really nice, and of course, as I've been saying, I have very high expectations of this one as well. The Dunkles Vollbier that you can look forward to in the future in one of my reviews. But this one, to be honest, I bet it's gonna be one of my best ones that I've been having from Franconia. But yeah, everything is in that direction. Small private brewer, of course, and that is often very good sign. So see this extremely big white foam crown that is so important to build up and maintain all the way through, because, as I used to say, it keeps the right taste in the glass, and this one is just very good looking, in my opinion. So I think it's maybe possible to pour the rest like this. Yeah, there we have it all. And let's put this right here and show this fantastic look of it. So let's give it a try. Finally, the Schrüfer Priesendorf Vollbier. Prost. Yeah. Of course, no doubt about it, that it's really great. very easy to drink, very well balanced in every way, tasty and nice, extremely fresh, and it really gives lives up to its name of Vollbier because it's really full-bodied in a very special way. Easy to drink, not as mild as a Helles, thankfully. I'm not a big fan of Bayerisches Helles because I think it tastes not so much at all. It's too mild for my tastes, the Bavarian Helles beer style in general, but this one is definitely not a Helles, it's a Vollbier. And even though it's pale, it still has very, very nice full-bodied taste between the malts and the hops. It's just simple, very, very nice brewed, and you know that because it's so small amount that is brewed, so you put that handcraft into the brews, and that's something that I like real much, because industrial beers, they just focus on quantity instead of quality. But it's another thing with this one, so big recommendation. Really hope that you can find it. Schrüfer Priesendorf. It's great. Yeah. To be honest, absolutely one of my favorites that I've had on the channel. Feels really, really nice. Very, very easy to drink. So this one and Brauerei Gasthof Endres Höfen and Gold Oxen. It's probably my 3 favorites at the moment from Franconia. With that said, I think that's it for now. This one is great, love it, and it's a big recommendation. Hope that you find it, and yeah, it's just really, really nice, and definitely didn't disappoint me. It lived up to its high expectations, of course, and look forward to see this one as well in the future. So that's it for now. I hope you continue to follow my channel for more interesting Franconian beer reviews, and see you again in the next Franconian beer review.